The sport of trampolining originally started in America. It was introduced as a new sport in Europe in the 60s. In 2000, trampolining made its Olympic debut, where the technical committee focus was primarily on difficulty and execution. But since 2010, the constantly evolving sport introduced a new dimension in the form of time of flight.
We think it's really important because it's a very objective criteria. And that is very important in the world of gymnastics to introduce more objective criteria. So this is the first thing. Second thing, that trampoline is a kind of athletic sport, and time of flight shows how athletic you are, how technical you are also, because it's quite a combination of at the same time technique, because you cannot go high if you're not technical. You cannot go high if you're not fit. So it's a combination of everything. Time of flight is a very easy criteria. You fly 17 seconds, you've got 17 points.
The time of flight is a small laser beam about 10 centimetres from the trampoline bed. The athlete will cut the signal whilst hitting the bed of the trampoline, and then it is restarted again while the athlete is in the air, giving the total time of flight for the gymnast.
You have to learn how to fly. I believe I can fly is not enough. You have to fly. If you're perfect on the skills, then you need to have a very good technique when you land in the trampoline bed where everything happens. So this time has to be properly done, and the way you tense some muscles, the chain of muscles you use is also something to learn. Some people has the ability to do it like it's natural, but for most of the people, they have to learn how to do it, because trampoline is not like bouncing on the floor. It's quite different, so you have to learn it.
When we introduce the time of flight, like the people with at once all says, oh no, it's going to advantage certain type of people. And like when we've made our study, we found that like the athletes who were taller, had some type of edge. But like really quickly, the people just took this as, this is a new thing, we have to work on it. And by today's rule, it's not necessarily the guy who are the tallest or the heaviest that are bouncing the highest.
And we found out that the best two scores for time of flight during this World Cup was a guy from Netherlands, which was the heaviest of all, and a Chinese, which was a thin guy. So those two people, they organized themselves to be able to fly very high and have a very good time of flight.
Trampolining is constantly evolving and looking at not just the technical side and the elements produced, but also really interacting with the audience and the media, and putting on a show that we've seen previously in the forms of the artistic gymnastics and other disciplines of the sport.
It's always difficult when we are talking show. You cannot do Cirque du Soleil. It's not possible. We have to stay in a certain like the lights and the environment of the performance has to stay almost the same, because our gymnasts are not prepared for that. But we can easily change the way we do the finals, the rhythm of the competition, the way we present the people.
The next thing that we're working on is called horizontal displacement. So we're actually, the system that has been tested right now is using force plate that are put under the trampoline legs that actually pretty precisely is giving the actual area where the athlete is landing on the trampoline. So it's also pretty visual, because like you could also show with a top view, not necessarily a camera, but like a top view images of the trampoline, exactly where the athlete its center of gravity will land on the trampoline bed. Having the time of flight that gives also precisely the time the athletes spend in the air on each bounce, adding the horizontal displacement that add precisely where the athlete lands on the trampoline bed, and knowing that the difficulty elements are known in advance, we're really close to be able to do online real-time judging.
In a constantly evolving trampolining discipline here, over the next 5 years, they're going to be looking towards using all of the technology that they're developing at the moment and making sure that trampolining stays ahead of its game.